Ajnanatimirandasya gnananjana shadakaya chakshurunmiritam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Gurudev, everybody. Today's verse from Srimad Bhagavatam is from Canto 5, Chapter 6, and verse 1. And it goes as follows. Rajo Vacha Nanunan Bhagavata Atma Ramanam Yoga Samirita Jnana Vabharjita Karma Bijanam Aishwaryani Puna Kleshadhani Bhavitum Arhanti Yadrikcha Yopagatani. Translation is, King Parikshit asked Shukadeva Goswami, "My dear Lord, for those who are completely pure in heart, knowledge is attained by the practice of Bhakti Yoga. And attachment for fruitive activity is completely burned to ashes. For such people, the powers of mystic yoga automatically arise. They do not cause distress. Why then did Rishabhadeva neglect them?" So, in this part of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 5, so right before that, activities of King Rishabhadeva are described. And Rishabhadeva, for those who don't know, he was incarnation of Narayana himself. He's actually pictured right there as a king, and he's teaching his 100 sons. There are not 100 sons, because it will be a big picture, right? Right, so there are just some of them, but there are 100 sons. And Bharata was one of them as well. Yeah, so if you know the King Bharata, actually the picture is a bit also nearby. The one who became a deer later, it's him. So he's the oldest son of King Rishabhadeva. And his teachings, I find really incredible. Like, he's brutally honest. He's brutally honest about life. He's brutally honest. Just don't waste your time. Don't waste your time on the petty things like your body, for example. Like he likes to say it many times. Just dedicate your time to something useful, something eternal, something spiritual. Okay, let's put it like this. For sure, in my satsang, I will touch his teachings many times. And then, in the second part of that canto, of that chapter, his renunciation is described. So after he gave his teachings, he renounced his kingdom, he renounced everything, and he was living a life as an avaduta. Right? He completely renounced it, didn't wash anything, didn't clean himself, completely just wandering around like Rama, as you saw him. But at least Rama is washed, right? By King Rishabhadeva wasn't washed. And so his renunciation was something really incredible, as Shukadeva Goswami himself is saying in one of the verses, that renunciation is not for example to follow, it's for our admiration. All right. So he, for example, he was laid down. Sometimes he was like behaving like an animal and like a python, as Shukadeva Goswami explains. He's just laying down, and whatever comes nearby, that he eats. If it doesn't come nearby, he doesn't eat. And he goes to toilet right under him, then he rolls on those things. Right? Of course, Srimad Bhagavatam describes that it smells as roses. I think it's interpolation later. Anyway, so it's not for following, it's for admiration. And what's interesting is that how people used to treat him, right? It is described as when he was like walking through villages, through cities, towns, and the fields of farmers. People used to hate him, really. They used to throw stones at him. They used to throw dirt at him. They used to throw poo in him. They used to beat him. They used to scold him, laugh at him, shout at him. They used to even, Srimad Bhagavatam describes, fart right near him. But he didn't care. Actually, in one of the verses, if I'm not mistaken, verse 30, Shukadeva Goswami is saying King Rishabhadeva didn't care because he considered that the body does not deserve a better treatment. Beautifully, isn't it? I love this. I really love this. Because what we think, right? We think our body deserves the best. Our body deserves the best food, the best treatment, and things like this, right? No, King Rishabhadeva thought, no, it doesn't deserve better treatment than that. Because our body is just, what is it, right? Guruji says many times, it's just a piece of, how to be polite, piece of phlegm and bones and stool and pee, all these things come together, and we do as much as we can to neglect it. Right? We do as much as we can to beautify it. Right? But as Guruji likes to say, as soon as the source of life leaves this body, it becomes to rot straight away. And the smell that comes from it is probably the most disgusting smell that comes. And try to think of something actually, like throughout our life, what comes from our body that smells nicely? Nothing. Right? It's disgusting. So it's only useful for that sake, to attain the Lord, nothing else. Okay? And so people used to treat him like this, and also in the last verse of chapter 5 is described that despite that treatment, and despite King Rishabhadeva possessed a lot of mystic powers, such as he could travel with the speed of thought, he could increase and decrease the size of his body, he could enter the body of another beings, he could see from the big distance, he could read what is in the mind of other people. And despite all those powers, he didn't use them. Despite all those powers, he didn't use to protect him from that treatment. And so now, King Parikshit, he heard all that, and he is asking a good question. Why he didn't use it? Why he didn't use neither to protect himself from that treatment, or even he didn't use for the sake of people, right? With all those powers, he could make so much good for the people, isn't it? He could make the life of people easier. He could teach those mystic powers. There are actually many mystic powers listed in Vedas and other yogic scriptures, describing many of them, and they arise. Actually, Srimad Bhagavatam says that it arose in King Rishabhadeva just by itself, without doing anything. Okay. Such powers as the decrease size of the body, huge strength, and things like this, but he didn't use them. So he's asking this question, and this is what I would like to discuss today. Actually, because you might say, Bridge, why you speak about it? We don't try to get those powers, we don't think about it, and you're right. Here among the residents, among community members, I didn't notice that we try to get those powers and skills also as well, because we listen to Guruji satsangs. But you will be wrong that everybody is like this. And actually, just recently, I think about a month ago, for the very first time in the history of Paramahamsa Sri Swami Vishwananda, he visited Azerbaijan. For those who don't know, it's a tiny little country near Russia in the south. Yeah. And we were there for I think 4 days. And just in those 4 days, 2 times I encountered somebody asked about these powers. One Mataji wasn't very smart. She approached Guruji about it. Luckily for her, I think Guruji was in a good mood. So he just said, my devotees don't care about these things. Okay. But very interestingly, she is very long on this path, this Mataji, many years. She doesn't come here very often, and I'm sure 99% that she asked this question because she doesn't listen to the satsangs. And it's interesting, like she doesn't see him often, she doesn't come often, and she had a chance to ask him something because Guruji came. He sat in a lobby speaking to people around, and she had a chance to ask the question, and she asked the stupid question: how to get these powers? Yeah. And he said, my devotees don't care about it. Another Mataji, she was a bit smarter. She approached me and she asked, what do you think? Is it a good thing to do to approach Guruji and ask for these things? And her question actually was a bit like interesting question. So she asked, do you think it's okay to ask Guruji for special powers, special skills, so that I can serve him better? So that I can bring money to the mission and things like this. Somebody is smiling, you probably know why it's not a good question. And I told her, no, it's not a good question at all. Right, so why? Why it's not a good question? Because I think for us also not a secret that Guruji possesses a lot of powers, and also not a secret that he can give those powers. Right? He can change the weather, and he can give this power to others. Like there are stories like this that I think Anshul was sharing. Guruji gave him, he unlocked something in his hand, like pressing some buttons, I don't know, and he was able to change the weather. And then he went to his wife saying, I can change weather now, and things like this, right? Then Guruji took it away. I think same for Swami Revati, he also gave it to him and then took it away. And Guruji possesses a lot of those things. Like materialization, for example, nobody will be surprised if a deity will be materialized from his heart. It's already like normal thing, right? The crazy thing, like I witnessed, is how he can change our consciousness just by his look or by his touch. Or one of the craziest things I have witnessed is when he materialized ladybugs. Ladybugs is living beings, right? And once there was an instant that many years ago, actually, our tulsis in the temple, they got sick with some pests, with some insects. And one Prabhu approached him and asked, like, what we can do. And suddenly out of his hand came a huge amount of ladybugs. And I'm like, okay, like if you materialize a statue, a deity, it's okay. But if living beings living their lives, like eating and probably breathing, and like, man, that's crazy. Okay. And so he can give it. Yeah, he can give it. And wise do not ask for this. Right. But this question was interesting, like how I can serve him better with those skills. Right? Is it really? Shall we really serve him better with those skills? Right? We think probably we will live better in some like corporate company, like having this perfection of like having big memory, nice memory, for example, right? Or possessing like extraordinary strength. Our life would be better to some extent, right? Like it would be more perfect, I would say. Like not sleeping, not eating, having not diseases, think like this. But Guruji doesn't like it. And so big question, like if our life would be really better. And so Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 88, described a nice story, actually a very interesting chapter. Described the story of not a very smart demon. His name was Vrikasura, and Narayana outsmarted him actually pretty easy. He was pretty dumb actually. So he did a lot of tapasya to please Shiva. As we know, Shiva is very easily pleased. And he pleased him in a very interesting way. He was throwing the part of his flesh into the fire, swaha, swaha. Shiva didn't appear. And so he decided to cut his head and throw it in there. Shiva appeared and he was like, ew, what is all this? Okay, ask me whatever you want, okay. And I go do my business. And so he asked, give me the power so that I can, whoever I place my hand on whoever's head, that person will die instantly. Right. So she was like, okay, I don't want to deal with this. Like, you are disgusting here. I give this to you, and off I go. Okay. So he gave it to him. And the very first thing, what do you think? Who he wanted to check? Right. On Shiva himself. right? And so Shukadeva Goswami describes that when we get the skills, we feel very, very arrogant, actually, and we turn against even the person who gave the skills. And we actually don't need these extraordinary mystic powers to turn against Guruji. There are instances when people are just charismatic, just possess knowledge, and they already turn against Guruji. Imagine if they possess some mystic powers. And he continues actually in this chapter, Canto 5, Chapter 6. He says that wise people, they never put faith in their mind, because the mind is like unfaithful wife. I think it's verse 4, if I'm not mistaken. Beautiful, beautiful verse. The mind is like unfaithful wife. She lives with you in the same house, but if you don't notice her, if you don't look after her, she brings some other guys in the house, like lust, desires, greed, anger, things like this. And when you don't notice, those guys will kill you. All right. So the wise always watch their mind. And there is a verse in the Bhagavad Gita as well, chapter 2, verse 60. Krishna is saying that the mind can forcefully take away, the senses can forcefully take away the mind of even a wise person. So we must always be watchful what we talk about, what we think about. Don't think that you are very pure. Don't think that you are really elevated, renounced, and things like this. Once I heard some brahmacharis some years ago. I was passing by the lobby, and some new brahmacharis were talking about sex. And one of them said, I'm not afraid. I told him, why are you speaking about this? You're a brahmachari. What are you talking about? He's like, Bridge, you're afraid. That's why you're not speaking about it. That's why you're not thinking about it. I'm not afraid of Maya. I can speak about it. Right? What a stupid thing to say. We should be afraid of Maya. Our knees should be shaken before Maya, because she can take our mind away anytime. We will not even notice how she comes, cripples behind us, and takes us away from the path. Right? The same with the mystic powers, the same with the skills and so on. That's why Guruji, when he gives, he takes it away. But actually, he does give it. But he prepares for that. Like, for example, me, as some of you know, like I remember Bhagavad Gita by heart. And there was an instant when Guruji, we were in France, and he started to give me Mahaprasad. Like just half-eaten apple, just nuts, or just some fruits from his hand. And at the first, I decided to share with people, and he said very strictly, no, that was for you. Oh, I'm like, okay. And I started to eat myself, and I was eating just for those 1 week. I have eaten Mahaprasad more than I have eaten in all 18 years in the path. And since then, this like urge, this like big force somehow arised in me to study. And I was studying really a lot. And I think that's he gave. And he was also preparing for that. Because many years ago, he was beating my ego very much, very strongly, laughing at me very much. And so right now, like I don't like red clothes or yellow clothes. It doesn't matter to me at all. He was preparing all those years. That's another mystic power of his, to actually prepare us for some events. Beautiful mystic power of his. And so, for the end of the satsangs, like for this satsang, let's discuss also the notion of perfect service. Because the Mataji asked, I will be able to serve better. But does Guruji require us to be perfect in our service? As Krishna says in chapter 9, Bhagavad Gita, verse 26, which you all should know by heart, isn't it? Because this is the favorite verse of Guruji. Let's try to chant it together. Yeah, in Sanskrit. 1, 2, 3. Patram pushpam palam toyam yo me bhakti prayachati tadaham bhakti upartam ashnami prayatatmanah. Not so many chant. You have like 2 months left in academy to finish, because this is one of the verses mandatory to learn, actually, among the 10. All right, and even though this verse wouldn't be there, this is the most favorite verse of our Gurudev. Like, you just, if you have some self-esteem, if you're a devotee, you must learn this verse. Okay, famous, the most loved verse of your Gurudev. And so Krishna is saying, whoever offers to me with devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or some water, I accept this offering made by one who is pure of heart. So look, he's not asking for $1,000,000. He's not saying, whoever offers to me $1,000,000, a huge real estate on the south of France, that offering I will accept. No. He's saying, whoever offers to me. Look, these things actually Guruji very nicely in his commentary to this verse, he's saying, these things will rot. You give him flowers and fruits, the things will go away. What he is asking for is our love. So it's not about how much we give. It's not about what we give even. It's with what attitude we give. With how much love and gratitude we give it. It's not how much. Actually, in the story of Rama, there's a story how when they were building the bridge, everybody tried to contribute. Right? There were big bears who used to bring big stones. Right? When there was little, I think it's squirrel or he was here, I think, in the Rama Mandir, or badger. I don't know exactly remember the name of the animal. Like if camera can search for the animal, would be nice. It's somewhere there. Like looks like a squirrel. He used to just roll in the sand and just come in those bridge and just shake himself and bring some sand. And so from perspective of the bear, he used to say, that is useless. Like he just brings some sand. I'm bringing huge stones. Like he's useless completely. But Rama said no. He is using whatever he has. And with big love, he's serving me. And I accept that. Okay. So it's not about mystic powers. It's nice to learn and be able to answer this, because any of you can encounter this, right? New people can come and ask for this. Yeah, and that's how it goes. Jai Gurudev.
Namaste Govinda Radhe, Govinda Govinda Gopala Radhe. Kishora, Govinda Govinda Gopala Radhe, Nanda Mukunda Nanda Kishora, Govinda Govinda Gopala Radhe, Pandharinatha Panduranga, Pandharinatha Panduranga, Pandharinatha Panduranga, Pandharinatha Panduranga, Govinda Govinda Gopala Radhe, Govinda Govinda Gopala Radhe, Govinda Govinda Gopala Radhe, Govinda Govinda Gopala Radhe, Govinda Radhe, Govinda 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 Radhe, Govinda Govinda Gopala Radhe. Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Yachitraya Karunakaraya Mangala Mangala Me Yachitraya Karunakaraya Mangala Mangala Me Prapachidharmikaradaya Mangala Mangala Me Prapachidharmikaradaya Mangala Mangala Me Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Shaligrama Pratishtitaya Mangala Mangala Me Shaligrama Pratishtitaya Mangala Mangala Me Sridhadatarini Godagrajaya Mangala Mangala Me Sridhadatarini Godagrajaya Mangala Mangala Me Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Ragesha Kaikaryarataya Mangala Mangala Me Ragesha Kaikaryarataya Mangala Mangala Me Mananataya Dharinidharaya Mangala Mangala Me Mananataya Dharinidharaya Mangala Mangala Me Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Om Jai Jagadish Hare Swami Jai Jagadish Hare Bhakta Janon ke Sant Kada Sajanon ke तुम सबके स्वामी, ओम जय जगदीश हरे। तुम करुणा के सागर, तुम पालन करता स्वामी, तुम पालन करता। मेरे सेवक तुम स्वामी, मेरे सेवक तुम स्वामी, कृपा करो बरता। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। तुम हो एक गोचर सबके प्राणपति स्वामी, सबके प्राणपति। इस विधि मिलो दयामय, इस विधि मिलो कृपामय, तुमको मैं कुमरी। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। दीन बंधु दुरारत तुम रक्षक मेरे स्वामी, तुम रक्षक मेरे। करुणा हाथ बढ़ाओ, करुणा हाथ बढ़ाओ, शरण पड़ा तेरे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। विषय विकार मिटाओ, पापारो देवा स्वामी, पापारो देवा। श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ, श्रद्धा प्रेम बढ़ाओ, संतन की सेवा। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। तन मन धन सब एक तेरा स्वामी, सब कुछ है तेरा स्वामी, सब कुछ है तेरा। तेरा तुझको अर्पण, तेरा तुझको अर्पण, क्या लागे मेरा। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे। भक्त जनों के संकट, दास जनों के संकट, शरण में दूर करे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। मन चाकर राखो जी, गिरधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी, गिरधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी, गिरधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी। मन चाकर राखो जी, गिरधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी, गिरधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी, गिरधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी। चाकर राखो, चाकर राखो, चाकर राखो जी। चाकर राखो, चाकर राखो, चाकर राखो जी। माने चाकर राखो जी, गिरधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी। श्याम माने चाकर राखो जी, गिरधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी। गोविंदा माने चाकर राखो जी, गिरधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी, गिरधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी, गिरधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव, त्वमेव त्वमश्च सखा त्वमेव, त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। गोविन्द असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्युर्माम् अमृतं गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु, लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। प्रेम से बोलो लक्ष्मी नारायण भगवान की, श्री भूतभृतेश्वरनाथ नरसिंह भगवान की, श्री राधा कृष्ण कन्हैयालाल की, मातर प्रिय बाबा जी की, श्री रमनुजाचार्य की। प्रेम से बोलो सद्गुरुदेवा श्री स्वामी विश्वानंदा महाप्रभु की जय। ओम कृष्णाय गोविंदाय गोपीजनवल्लभाय हराय परम पुरुषाय परकर्म मंत्र यंत्र तंत्र औषध शस्त्राणि समर समर ऋचुर्मोचा मोचा। ओम नमो भगवते महासुदर्शनाय जिगजी ज्वाला प्रीताय सर्वजिक शमन ओंकार परस्मै परम ब्रह्मणे परम ज्योतिषे स्वाहा। ओम शांति शांति शांति। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः।